massive supply chain network that I've known over 20 plus years of cooking in this country. What I've realised is the fact that I need to find the right grower. Doesn't have to be organic, but certainly sustainable and ethical, and a person that I trust, who will deliver me my core vegetables, my core meat, my core fish. I then need to find a dry goods supplier that has fair trade tea and fair trade coffee and very good olive oil, who I trust, and who, I mean, I visit these olive oil people, and I visit the pasta makers, and I visit the olive makers, so I know where it's coming from if it's not from the country. What I've done at Acorn House, even though I've a vast array of suppliers, I've actually only got 5 that I use, because the more people who turn up, the more vans are being used, the more packaging that's being used, etc., etc. So I've said to my fish supplier, okay, I'll guarantee you, for the next year, I'll use you. All I want is mackerel, ling, I'll have a bit of bream if it's wild, or, you know, I'll go gilthead bream. So he knows that he can go out and buy sustainable fish and deliver it straight to me. In fact, he's got a carte blanche. Same for my meat supplier. Same for my veg supplier. So, because it's my restaurant, my menu, and my team, I instill in them, don't dictate to the supplier, let the supplier dictate to you. And the British, I mean, I was talking to a British gardener yesterday, and he said to me, just tell me what you want and I'll put it in the ground. I said, no, you tell me what you think is going to be ready in 3 months' time. Grow what you want to grow. Grow something weird, grow something cool, grow something fantastic. And he kind of sitting there. It's the kind of the first time anyone said that to him. Because usually people say, oh, why don't you plant this, 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 and this, and this? But I've actually said to him, you're going to actually dictate the menu. I'll cook it. Someone will eat it. But as a group of people, we'll be creating this experience. You know, I put a lot of pressure on my veg supplier, who doesn't deliver any packaging. It's all just, if I ask for celeriac, that's all I get. It comes in boxes that they reuse. We plant it out into these, you can see they're going into these baskets. That's it. You know, the fish, you know, always wants to turn up in polystyrene, but now turns up in a box that goes back again and again and again. The meat just turns up in a bag that goes back. So every one of my suppliers cannot supply me unless I'm just buying the product. And you know what? It's actually working out better for them, because if you look back along the chain, my delivery chap is the person who picks up or has delivered to him in a box, usually a disposable box, which is not disposable, goes into landfill or something, it's burned stupidly. But that box actually costs the grower. So I say to the grower, listen, just pull your celeriac out of the ground and put it in a box that we can use again. The grower says, well, of course, that's what I want to do. The team that's sitting on top of the foundation team that we have are all environmentally conscious and want to work here. So luckily I have I won't say a queue, but certainly you know, a bus stop full of people waiting to work here, because they believe in our ethics. You know, they actually live their lives like that. I mean, my pastry chef at the moment is going to be living on a barge off-grid. The Shoreditch Trust you know, spent £20,000 in putting in dry toilets, wood-burning stoves, solar panelling, you know, wind capturing, all this kind of stuff. And that boat is going to be moored alongside the Waterhouse restaurant. But this is a business that is viable and is definitely works in its concept. But if I didn't have the backing of local councils, I mean, this is a government-built restaurant, backed by the government to train people in sustainable cooking, sustainable catering, which is pretty much a one-off, you know, and they've done it twice, Acorn House and Waterhouse. So, you know, it's a model that has been shown to work, and if the government weren't backing it and it was all private money, I wouldn't be able to train people, which I think is fair enough, you know, I mean, you know, because training costs money, you know. So, yeah, it wouldn't stand up alone as a training restaurant, but it does stand up alone if I was just a restaurant and did the ABC all myself. Phase 2 works at Waterhouse. I mean, it's taken a year to get them in, But the phase 2 works is the finality of putting in the heat exchange mechanisms into the canal and actually settling them properly, working out the piping that runs into the water maintenance system inside the roof and inside the floor. So phase 2 works was always planned, and probably part of the reason why we didn't win Sustainable Restaurant of the Year was because the phase 2 works weren't in place. It doesn't really matter, you know, they're coming and it's experimental again. And also, I think that there's more people moving into the offices above. So basically the whole business is being sort of improved and restructured to be able to deliver the proper services that we always set out to deliver